Elektra continues free-falling off the cliff, smiling all the while. Matt thinks to himself, not another death. Not if there's a chance. He jumps off the cliff after the reckless woman. She crashes through the ice into the water. Matt plunges in after. It's cold, it's quiet, there's no scent. He has no way to find her. He starts running out of air, so he bursts through an unbroken layer of ice, drenched and freezing and gasping for air. As the woman speeds off in her car from atop the cliff, somehow she made it back up there. She's laughing. Matt hears it all. Back at Matt and Foggy's dorm, Foggy is enjoying a tasty, yummy treat and doing his schoolwork as Matt walks into their dorm, soaking wet from his thrill-seeking adventure. Foggy warns Matt that Elektra is bad news. He tells Matt about a friend that made a pass at Elektra in the past, and she broke both his arms for it. Matt finally knows the mystery woman's name. Elektra. Matt repeats the name and asks Foggy where she lives. Foggy doesn't want to tell Matt as he thinks Elektra is bad news, but Matt is persistent and Foggy knows it. In a gated community in a well-guarded residence. Matt goes ninja sneaky cat mode and remembers Stick's training. Matt squeezes his ribs through the gate, all while thinking, make no sound. There are times Matt is glad to be blind. People depend so much on their eyes for everything. He takes a moment to let the smells and echoing sounds describe the place to him. Matt truly senses the magnitude of the estate. He recalls Foggy telling him that her father is a diplomat of some sort, a powerful man. Matt thinks to himself, she's probably had it easier her whole life. She is a naughty girl and could use a lesson. Matt continues sneaking through the estate, bypassing guards like a ninja would. The sneaking to avoid trouble with his father and the training with Stick are reflected in this sequence. Matt approaches a window. He recognizes her scent. It's her room. Matt probes around the room, waiting for his senses to direct him. He feels around her trophies of all variety. This is quite a formidable woman, he thinks. Martial arts, swimming, track, daddy's little girl can fight. There's nothing more for him to find in there, so he begins to proceed out the door, and as he does, he notices a dog. Matt doesn't worry because dogs love Matt. All of a sudden, a Rottweiler sprints around the corner and leaps at Matt, and BAM! Matt kicks the beast in the throat. A guard follows shortly behind, armed with a submachine gun. Cut to Elektra as she's effortlessly playing the piano in a fancy rich people ballroom. Through the glass ceiling of the giant rooms comes shattering through one of the guards of the event. Is that dude in a dress? The crowd gasps in surprise and accidentally spill their drinks. The guard crashes into the piano Elektra is playing on. She doesn't stop as she plays one-handed and takes a drink from her glass. The injured guard struggles to say, God, nobody's that fast. Who even is that guy? Elektra looks up to Matt standing in the window frame from where he threw the man. Her cheeks are blushed with red. He feels her glance for a moment. It seems to go on forever. A sea of submachine gun rounds are unleashed in Matt's direction. Matt sprints away and is haunted again by the memory of the perfumed worker of false passion falling to her death. He made a mess again. His emotions got the better of him. Emotions are the real devil. Rarely outside of emotional states do we hurt others with our actions. Amidst the gunfire, Matt realizes that Elektra hasn't stopped playing. The music builds to a climax. Elektra's cheeks still rosy red, sweat beginning to proliferate out of her pores. Elektra's father orders the guards seal the exits and to find that man. He assures Elektra that she is okay, and Elektra calmly responds, "Yes, Papa." A guard gets radioed information from another guard at the gates of the estate. The subject has escaped, but not without getting shot in his arm. Elektra says he must be bleeding. Usually, that's what happens when you get shot. Yes. I think this is supposed to show us some kind of predatory instinct from Elektra. The blood seems to arouse her like a shark or something of that nature. Matt travels far back into town as he bleeds and stumbles the entire way, his senses fading in and out. Matt stumbles again and again and starts to crawl. He stops and concentrates through the waves of nausea and clammy, icy cold air. He finds the strength he needs to make it back to his dorm, leaving a trail of blood in the snow. He manages to conceal the bleeding as he makes his way past the other college students on the way to his dorm. But that doesn't last. A new trail of blood begins in his dorm. Clean the wound, stop the bleeding, stay conscious. Matt keeps repeating to himself, stay conscious. Clean the wound, stop the bleeding, stay conscious. He wraps the wound and the bleeding stops. Matt loosens his concentration from his body and opens his senses back up to the world and feels the hot water and steam of the shower. He listens to the rush of water and realizes he's not alone, and it's not Foggy. A familiar feminine hand begins to pull back the curtain of the shower. Oh, Elektra, you naughty girl. A few hours later, Foggy arrives home to the dorm, and the door is locked. Foggy can't enter due to the chain lock being latched. Matt peeks through the opening of the door. He seems relaxed, content, and satisfied all at once, and he asks Foggy for a minute before he lets him in. 20 minutes later, Elektra exits the room. Foggy is frozen in shock. Foggy questions Matt for getting involved with a girl like Elektra. Matt says she's really very a nice girl. Elektra goes home to get some sleep, but the voices in her head won't stop. She can't stand to be inside, so she goes to Times Square. Elektra notices a group of unsavory types, and the things they say are even more unsavory. She lets them see her travel tunnel to a nearby secluded alleyway. They are pigs, vermin, she thinks to herself. Listen to them chatter, building their courage. They deserve what's coming. Elektra obeys her urges, but not the voices. The voices she had to lie about, or she would be sent back to the psychiatrist, whom she thought missed the point. She had to lie to them to get rid of their stupid questions. The voices are real, she persists. The group has followed her into the alleyway and shout out at her. That's far enough, babe. They assure her it's fine. If she wants to scream, she insists that she won't. Elektra starts to undress. She wants them to watch her and breathe hard. Let them enjoy themselves while they still can, she thinks. The voices want innocent blood. They won't be satisfied with this, but she doesn't listen to them. Rather, she listens to the urge. The voices raspy, like dry leaves whispering in her mind. They tell her of a destiny she doesn't like the sound of, but they do something to her mind, something she can barely control. So she picks her victims rather than letting the voices pick their own. The group closes in on her with further foul remarks. Elektra eggs them on. One pulls a switchblade. Elektra lets the two men grab her and pull her arms back behind her. The man with a knife begins to cut Elektra's shirt just above her breasts. One of the bad men tells Elektra his intent and she rams her knee into his crotch. As he bends over in pain, she sends her opposite knee upward, crashing into his jaw. His vertebrae snaps. Life leaves him without a whisper. The two in the back pull out weapons, one with a chain and one with a pistol. They're not taking any chances after seeing what she did to their fellow lowlifer. Elektra grabs the closest man to her and uses him as a shield as to block the incoming bullets, peppering the man's body. She throws the bullet-riddled corpse at the pistol wielder and they collide just as Elektra grabs one of the others standing closest to her. She bends down, still grappling, and dodges the giant chain from the colossal thug. As the chain flies over her and the thug's head, she plunges her fingers straight into the man's stomach. Blood drips from Elektra's right hand as the remaining colossal thug calls her something indescribable. Elektra thinks to herself he's big, strong, and stupid. Only his weapon is abuse. So she takes the chain as it is swung at her. She sends what is known as a push kick or a teep kick into his stomach. Her foot cuts through the meat of the man like a knife. She has a thought in this moment of how her father would never forgive her if he saw her in this moment. She's a naughty girl. The remaining thug is cursing at Elektra as she's getting up from the ground and points the gun towards Elektra a second time. Elektra whips the chain towards the gun wielder. The pistol flies out of the gun wielder's hand and the chain wraps around the wrist, shredding it to a pulp. She uses the palm of her hand to shove the hard bone into the soft brain, ending the attacker's life. The colossal remains. He's stumbling away. Elektra whips the chain around his neck and yanks it back, snapping his neck instantly. A few last gurgling sounds, and the alleyway goes quiet. A homeless man there all the while with his blanket and his drink. Elektra takes a cab home. The police arrive 20 minutes later. "I love New York" is written in blood on the wall. The police question the drunk, but he doesn't know anything. He was drunk, he says. Elektra was underwhelmed by the experience. She was expecting more of a workout. Cut some time into the future and Elektra finds that she prefers working out with Matt in the campus gym in the secrecy of the night. It's the only time she isn't lonely. She knows it can't last between them, but they are both happy, for now. Matt may be a little too happy as he's losing his focus in class. Matt is awoken from his sleep by Stick. He's crouched over Matt in his bed, the point of Stick's staff prodding into the flesh of Matt's neck. He tells Matt to stay away from Elektra. She's on the worst side and should drag you down with her. It's bad enough Matt failed him. He can't have Matt joining the enemy. He'd kill him before he let that happen. Stick rams his staff into a pressure point on Matt's neck and Matt passes out. He awakes later in the night and wonders if it was just a dream. How could Elektra be evil? That's impossible. She's an angel to Matt. She's the perfect mate for him, a dancing and laughing playmate. When Matt hints at a future together, she has a terribly dark and sad laugh on the topic. Elektra tells Matt that he doesn't really know her because he doesn't really ask questions. He's something she doesn't deserve and she can't keep. It was wrong to come to him that night. She should have stopped herself, she says. Elektra tells Matt of the group of 5 that she killed last week. Matt shrugs it off as sarcasm and doesn't acknowledge the statement. Elektra falls asleep again, being likened to a cat. Matt says softly as she sleeps, "I love you, Elektra." At the funeral for Elektra's father, the air is cold and it turns tears to ice. Elektra tells Matt they killed her father as to hurt her. Matt questions who. She replies, "The voices. They had to show me what I am." The same will happen to Matt if she doesn't leave him alone. He could end up dead, or worse. There's no persuading her, no changing her mind, no way to make her explain. There's only one last minute of hungry fire, and then she's gone. Matt figures he will meet her again and learn of the war that Stick mentioned. But for now, he's simply a young man with a broken heart. Matt thinks to himself he's being punished again for letting his heart run free, to give in to his emotions, for breaking rules. Back in Hell's Kitchen, the leaders of the underworld meet. Their drug organization is being outperformed by the younger generation of dealers, a generation of children selling drugs and other unsavory acts. They question their boss as to why they aren't putting the muscle on their competition, who's well outperforming their business. The boss doesn't want to resort to killing youth. They are criminals, not monsters. The boss yells out to them as he commands them to clear the room. It's just the boss and a man behind him standing in the shadows, The boss monologues how they would sell out their families in the city and throw away tradition and turn this place into hell on earth. He requests the shadowed figure's strong hands. The boss mentions the issue with the city that he disagrees with. The large hands caress his shoulders upon his head. The boss states that he can't trust anyone but the shadowy figure in his extra masculine hands. The others would have him killed if they had the chance. Snap! The big dominant hands reach down and take a rose from the collar of the boss's suit. He's waited years for this, quietly making proper connections, building consensus, so that consensus will be an unshakable stranglehold. They will obey him or die. He will rule this city as the Lord of Crime, as the Kingpin. That one was great. Maybe we finished with some thoughts, like the parallels of Elektra and falling, and like Elektra's falling, she jumps off the cliff, and then Matt's reminded of the woman of the night who he accidentally killed. And then that's also kind of paralleled with how he throws the guard through the window. And luckily the guard doesn't die. Like, he could certainly die from that. But there's a lot of nice parallels going on in this for sure. The reminders of the sneaking with Matt's father and Stick, and we're kind of seeing him develop that skill further. Matt sensing Elektra's scent as he gets to her door, a nice callback to the scent on the rooftop. It is also wonderful too, Elektra playing piano the entire time. Like, she's got so many skills, and she's this just like bloodthirsty killer. Like, she's so fun and dangerous and just wonderful. What a fun character. Like, who can rival Elektra, really? Like, you know, she doesn't even need weapons. Her hands are blades. Her feet are blades. It's just so fun. She clearly followed Matt's trail of blood to his dorm, which I also really liked. That was another fun beat. What else? Oh yeah, we can see Elektra stripped down again. Like, she loves to use her womanly appeal. She likes to use the power of the magical power of femininity as a weapon, which is, not good. Don't get involved with that in reality, guys. It doesn't work out for Daredevil. It won't work out for you. But wonderful imagery in this one. I really enjoyed making this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it too.